I'm going to tell you what it's really like to get an MRI as a plus size person. To cut a long story short, I've been having some back pain since about December last year. It's now March, and I was really reluctant to do anything about it other than going to see a physio who I knew wouldn't just tell me to lose weight to reduce my back pain. But when the pain continued, I knew that I was going to have some kind of imaging procedure, and I'd never had an MRI before. And when I tell you that I was freaking out, I was beside myself. Cried in the car all the way there. Got there, cried in the waiting room, cried as they were checking me in, cried as they were talking me through the procedure, cried as I was about to walk into this room where the MRI machine was. I don't want anyone else to feel that way ahead of an MRI. I was most worried about is that I wouldn't fit through this hole. I was also worried about my actual physical weight and like if there was a weight limit with the bed itself. But when I called the radiology place, they asked my weight, trigger warning. And so I gave it to them. They were like, that should be fine. They checked with the technicians because I am in a large body. I'm an Australian size 30. So I did all the due diligence I could, but I was still really worried that I wasn't going to fit through that actual hole. I'd Googled it. I'd gotten a measuring tape out. Like I was beside myself about this. Anyway, I'm just going to talk you through exactly what they did to make me feel comfortable so that you are somewhat prepared if you need to go through this as well. Because the MRI was on my back, this is almost exactly the setup I was in, except I was the other way around. So my head was where this person's feet are, and my legs were up on like a little block like this person's legs are. The only real difference here for me was that they asked me to put my arms above my head. So I had both arms up above my head, and they gave me like a little thing to hold on to and like an emergency buzzer. And then the only other thing that they had to do was they sort of lined the inside or parts of the inside of the MRI machine with like, it was like a foam type thing. I think it was to stop my body from touching the inside of the machine. That was like totally fine. And they just explained what they were doing and it was all good. And then when I got in the machine, look, I can understand if you have claustrophobia, definitely be prepared. It is loud. You have headphones on. They talk to you through the headphones. They play music. And you are like, it can feel like you're trapped in there. So I can absolutely see why if you have claustrophobia, this would be really traumatic. Very fortunately for me, that is not one of my fears. And so I wasn't too worried about the claustrophobia. I was, to be honest, just so relieved that I fit. But yeah, I basically got in there. They did the testing, came out, they helped me up and I was all good to go. I do have a bulging disc and some nerve compression, which really explains my pain, but I'm so glad I went and I was so proud of myself after I went. I now have to go and get a cortisone injection in my spine, which I believe is going to be a little bit confronting. So maybe I'll do a part 2 talking about that after I finished it.